What's up, guys? How y'all doing? Cosmic Carry here, rolling out in my E-25 on proc. This is your go-to map, basically, for getting your ace masteries. And if you're in, I'd say, in a light tank, I mean, pretty much any tank, you have a distinctive advantage. I would say, apart from heavies. Heavies have a disadvantage when they're on this map. I mean, depending on how you play the thing. Depend if there's artillery in play, but definitely like TDs, artillery and light tanks, you have such an advantage over other tanks, and yeah, it's basically a go-to map for pushing up your MOEs, which was I was doing in this session. And trying to obtain your ace mastery badge in whatever tank that you're playing in. And yes, this is part of the MOE session where I played, I think it was approximately 150-160 games over a period of 3-4 days, attempting to get my third mark of excellence. On this tank, I reached 94.95%, as was shown in the montage, and it proceeded to, as soon as it hit that number, it proceeded to drop down to 89%. It's currently at 89%, I think. But as soon as you get proc, basically you're kind of guaranteed at least like a 1% jump in your MOE. And as you can see, all 60 of my shells are loaded as premium, and this is because the penetration. The only one negative thing about this OP machine, and it's I'm not going to beat around the bush, it's 100% overpowered, ridiculously overpowered, this tank, and pretty much I wreck everything in this tank when I'd say 80% of my games are fantastic. They're silver mastery or gold mastery, thereabouts. And but the only negative thing about the tank is 150 pen with standard ammo, so if you load regular ammo, you get, I think it's just below 200. I think it's a silly number like 198. And in my personal opinion, you have to, if you're going for your marks of excellence, you have to make every single shot count. End of story. And for those of you that know the E-25, the standard shells, the gun is fantastically accurate, but they do tend to bounce. They do tend to bounce, and I'd say about a good like 20, 30, 40% of your shells just bounce, and you're like, this is taking forever, But with the premium shells, you don't eliminate that problem, but it 100% helps. I wouldn't recommend doing this if you're playing the tank just on a regular basis, because you lose a buttload of money. Dude, it's a fast firing gun, absolutely 100%, and it just accumulates. I think I lost, I'd say about 1 million over the 150 games or so, which really isn't that bad, but as you can see, we have taken the bush, and I'm completely safe here. I'm completely safe here. I've stacked up 1.2k assisted damage. There you go. There's some more, but the question is, what is my team gonna do? I finally get lit up, and I have to pull back. It's all about. It's just as much your team. You're providing that fantastic intel to them. The Reds don't know that you're in that bush, and they're wondering, why am I getting lit up? But your team has to get shots on target, and there's no point on you. There's no point of you lighting these guys up, and you're so close, and you're like this secret agent and all of this jazz, if your team aren't getting shots on target. And as you can see, this is a bit of a abysmal team, because we're currently losing 2-6, 3-6. We're not doing that well, and the hill on the 0 line, forget about it. Nothing's happened there, and we are basically getting closed in on from all directions, and this is like a worst case scenario when you're being boxed into a corner and you have to fight off a flank to your left, a flank to your right, a flank to your, in front of you, this is worst case scenario, especially for myself in E-25, because I need to take advantage of my camo. I need my camo to kick in. It takes 3 seconds to kick in. So if I'm continuously moving, if I'm continuously swaying my tank left to right, you know, the camo's basically not kicking in, and I can't take advantage of my camo. I can't take advantage of my gun. I can't take advantage of anything. The only thing that's on my side back here is, you know, the bush factor. You know, there's a lot of bushes, there's a lot of foliage, and you know, that's kind of helping me out as I'm moving. As you can see, you know, my camo's not kicking in because I'm continuously moving, and our comrades have fallen at the bridge basically. So the people that were up on the hill are gonna push through, you know, push through the bridge any second now. And this gentleman, I think it's just a bit hasty. It wasn't stupidity. He thought I was coming over here to wreck these guys. I was, but I'm gonna remain immobile as I do so. So camo has kicked in, and I'm wrecking these guys absolutely 100%. I should have finished off the 60 TP, but I didn't. I don't want to move. There you go. We're moving again. And the thing here is, I need to get as much damage on these guys as possible in order to, you know, to reduce their health for the end game, so to speak. And basically, I'm out of options here. I'm completely out of options. They're too close to me, and I can't do anything. You know, I can't pull back to the corner, of the map. They're gonna see me as soon as I fire, even with my camo values, etc, etc. So the only option I have right now is to run like a effer. It's just to get the hell out of Dodge. And what's kind of cool is that light tank that kind of nudged me up the bum is accompanying me. And we catch a Swedish tank napping, and we're gonna wreck him to bits, which is really cool. You know, I think he was like, what the hell, where'd you guys come from? You know, it was the end game. So we take this gentleman out, and keep in mind, you know, 9 to 11, or 11 to 9, the T-71, and then we're going to take this T-71 out, absolutely, kudos to the light tank, and there's a VK, and I know I can just destroy this guy, absolutely. The question is, you know, how much damage can he inflict on us and on myself. And as you can see, we're even now, 100% we're even, because I pulled myself out of that situation. I kind of egged on, I guess, the light tank to join me, and there's just 2 of us now left. It kind of showcases that you should just never give up. You should never surrender. You really shouldn't, you know, especially in those kind of situations where the Reds think, oh, we got this 100%, because that's when you kind of relax and you exhale. I think I've mentioned this before in my videos, and that's when you make mistakes, because you're not concentrating anymore. You're thinking, okay, we got this, it's in the bag, it's, you know, adios muchachos, and we take there's just a medium left. I am on low health, so my first thought was here, just cap the base. We can't be, you know, that's it. We can't be going around looking for the last medium, especially if he's just sitting in the bush and takes me out and takes out this my light tank. And lo and behold, the medium tank that does actually kill himself, which is great, which is fantastic. So a fantastic game in my E-25, very good, very decent, not that amazing for Prokhorovka, truth be told. You know, very, very poor for Prokhorovka, but a fantastic win for when you kind of look at the situation that we're in. We're seconds away from losing. You know, we were seconds away from losing, and we just pulled it out of the bag, me and this little light tank with his little 661 damage. Take it easy, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Adios, muchachos.